In a village nestled deep within a lush, ancient forest, lived a young woman named Elara. She was known for her kindness to all living things, from the smallest beetle to the tallest deer. One day, while gathering herbs near a shimmering river, she found a large, beautiful snake with scales that glittered like emeralds. The snake was trapped beneath a fallen log, its body bruised and weak. Ignoring the warnings of old village tailies, Elara's heart went out to the creature. She spent hours carefully shifting the heavy log, freeing the snake. She cleaned its wounds with cool river water and wrapped them in soft leaves. For days, she returned to the same spot, bringing food and fresh water until the snake regained its strength. On the day it was fully healed, the snake looked at her with what seemed like gratitude in its intelligent, golden eyes before slithering silently back into the forest. A few weeks later, a handsome stranger arrived in the village. His name was Kale, and he had eyes the same striking gold as the snake Elara had rescued. He was charming and kind, and to everyone's surprise, he sought out Elara, claiming he had heard of her compassion and had traveled far to meet her. A whirlwind romance began, and soon they were married. Life with Kale was a dream. He was a loving husband, and their home was always filled with warmth and laughter. But Elara started noticing strange things. Kale would disappear for hours, especially on moonlit nights, always returning just before dawn with the scent of damp earth and wild blossoms clinging to him. He had an uncanny ability to understand animals, and snakes in particular seemed drawn to their home, often seen resting peacefully in their garden unafraid. One evening, a terrible sickness swept through the village. The local healer was baffled, and people grew weaker by the day. Elara, desperate to help, remembered the rare moonpetal flower, an herb said to cure any ailment, which grew only in the deepest, most treacherous part of the forest, a place no one dared to enter. Determined, Elara prepared to set off alone at dusk. But Kale stopped her, his golden eyes filled with a deep concern she had never seen before. "It is too dangerous," he said, his voice low. "Let me go. I know the forest's secrets. Trust me." Elara hesitated, but the love and sincerity in his gaze convinced her. She watched him walk towards the dark woods and vanish into the shadows. All night she paced, her heart heavy with worry. Just as the first light of dawn painted the sky, Kale returned, exhausted and covered in scratches. But he held a single, luminous moonpetal flower. As he handed it to her, his hand trembled, and a patch of skin on his arm seemed to shimmer and shift, revealing a pattern of emerald green scales beneath. Elara gasped, her eyes widening in disbelief. Kale looked down, a sad smile on his face. The secret was out. "It's true," he confessed softly. "I am a Naga, a guardian spirit of the forest. I can take human form, but my true nature is that of the snake." He explained that he was the very snake she had rescued by the river. Bound by a debt of gratitude and captivated by her pure heart, he had chosen to live among humans just to be with her. The villagers had always feared his kind, so he had hidden his identity. Elara looked at her husband, at the man she loved who had just risked his life for her and her people. She saw not a monster, but the same kind soul she had fallen in love with. The form didn't matter. She reached out and gently touched the patch of scales on his arm. "You are my husband, Kale," she said, her voice steady. "And I love you." Relief washed over Kale's face. Together, they used the moon petal to create a cure, and Elara distributed it throughout the village. As people recovered, the story of Kale's true identity spread. At first, there was fear and suspicion. But Elara stood by his side, telling everyone of his bravery and the love he held for their community. Seeing that Kale had saved them all, the villagers' fears slowly turned into acceptance and then respect. They learned that kindness transcends appearances and that true love can bridge any world. Kale no longer had to hide. He and Elara lived a long and happy life together, a living legend of how compassion could tame the wildest of hearts and unite the most different of beings. This story was told for generations, a reminder that love is the most powerful magic of all. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next video. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.